just took a look at the original 1931 Bela Lugosi Dracula movie. This is the first movie I've watched for this that I actually own on DVD. Although I don't have it here, I have it back in Pennsylvania. But I got it when Cody and I took a class on vampire literature. And for my final, I watched that movie and I watched the 1992 Francis Ford Coppola Dracula. And I compared the two with the book and tried to, my thesis was one of these is more accurately represents the book, which is it. It turned out it was the 92 film. So while I was watching it that first time, about 4 or 5 years ago, I was kind of critiquing the story structure and the plot and how it differs from the book, but I wasn't actually looking at the filmmaking. So it was nice looking at it from a different viewpoint this time. That being said, Bela Lugosi is awesome. There is a very good reason that his career is based off of this role and that he's most well known for this, and he started dressing like it in public because it is an incredible performance. It's just creepy, really, really creepy, and otherworldly throughout the whole thing. He reminds me a little bit of like a better actor version of Tommy Wiseau from The Room. Just kind of like not really of this world, and you can't quite pinpoint why. Really liked him. The guy who played Renfield spent the whole movie just chewing the scenery. You think his jaw will get sore, but no, he comes out and he just keeps on chewing it. He just goes crazy in this movie, and it's not like a great performance, but it's wicked fun to watch. The sets are stunning, just big sets, just like Bride of Frankenstein. Just like these big gothic sets that are really, really gorgeous. And it's short too, it's like 75 minutes, not a long movie. Easy to get through. Something I noticed, this version that I watched tonight differs from my DVD, in that the DVD I have has the Philip Glass score that he composed and recorded years, decades, I think, after the film came out. But the version I watched tonight does not have that score. And it kind of made everything a little bit more eerie that there's no music. It reminded me of Fritz Lang's movie M, which also doesn't have any music, and it just kind of adds a level of creepiness to everything with no score, and all you hear is just the sounds in the world. So that, I think I prefer it that way over the score, as good as that score is. Something else I wanted to say, and it... Anyway, the cats are playing. This is the second Universal monster movie I've seen. I prefer it over Bride of Frankenstein. It's just, I feel like it's a stronger story. And I really want to... I'm going to have my DVD sent here so I can. I really want to sit down and watch the Spanish language version of this film. Because in the 30s, this was in the early age of sound in films. So instead of dubbing, they hadn't quite figured that part out yet. They would hire a separate cast to perform the film in the other language, using the same sets and cameras, but a different cast, and I believe a different crew, but it may have been some of the same crew members. So they would shoot during the day the English version, and then that night they would shoot the same scenes in Spanish. But because they had that whole day of shooting done, they figured out little tricks and stuff. So from what I've heard, the Spanish language version is a better movie. Not necessarily acting-wise, but camera work and lighting and cinematography and all that is kind of more advanced in the Spanish language version. So one of these days I'm going to sit down and watch that one. But yeah, as Universal is releasing new movies, I think they did a Dracula one 2 years ago. Is that a thing that happened? Dracula Unheard, Untold? Dracula something? It bombed. Do you remember that at all?
Yes, because there was the Frankenstein movie.
I remember like I Frankenstein and...
It was I Frankenstein, and then it was the Dracula... Yeah, it was like where Dracula came from, and it was like this horrible, horrible attempt to
it looked so
make
bad.
him...
It looks so bad.
It was like he was a warlord.
And what worries me is I don't even think that's part of like the new Universal Monsters extended cinematic universe they're trying to build. So I think they're going to try it again in a couple of years. I don't think
it's on like a 5 to 10 year loop. So
I don't think they need to. Like, the original stands alone as one of the great horror films. And even the 92 one with Keanu Reeves and Gary Oldman is a good adaptation. I don't think it's as good, but it's still a very good adaptation of the book, and they did the character justice in a different way than this movie did. And then there's, I think Christopher Lee played it in the 70s. I haven't seen those yet. I gotta look those up. But I don't think they need to keep making Dracula movies. We live in an age where we can get all the old ones anytime we want to. We don't need a new one.
They should just do Twilight.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that. Tomorrow!
A blot upon humanity.
Tomorrow I'm looking at one of my dad's favorite movies of all time, The Untouchables. So I'm looking forward to that because he's told me to watch that movie like 18 times now, and I'm finally sitting down and doing it. So until then, like, share, subscribe. Leave me a comment below, suggest a movie you think I should watch, and if you say it 18 times or so, maybe I will.